welcome back to Everything DIY. We're going to be doing the very first project today on our new CX5, and what we're doing is installing a Dashcam, more specifically the Thinkware Dashcam F770. We had a lot of questions about the Dashcam that we'd recommend, and we'd kind of been holding off on answering it because the product we'd had before we weren't exactly thrilled with it. So after doing a bunch of research, and we'd had quite a few companies reach out to us with their dash cams, but one really stood out to us, and that was from a company called blackboxmycar.com, and they reached out to us with the Thinkware F770, obviously, and we looked into it a bit and got kind of excited about it, so we, again, reached back out to them and are now working together to show you how to do a really cool install on this camera. We're not going to give you too much info on it yet because we are doing a supplementary review as well. So once that comprehensive review is all set to go, it'll be right there for you guys to check it out. And if after this video you're interested in buying this product, please go in the description box below and we'll have a link there for you guys to check out. So obviously the product we're going to be using today is the Thinkware F770. We're going to be using the optional Hardwire kit that goes directly into the fuse box, but it comes with the cigarette lighter option as well. And then we of course have the optional rear view camera, which we will also be installing. You can buy the optional items at blackboxmycar.com as well. The main tools we're going to be using for this project include wire cutters and a crimping tool. If you need a full list of the tools we'll use, of course it's down in the description as well. So the first thing we're going to do is pick a place where we want our cameras to sit, so that we can figure out where we're going to put all the wiring. You kind of want to pick a spot that has a lot of visibility but also is sort of inconspicuous and it's kind of hard to tell it's there. So I'm just going to play around a little bit with this and pick a spot. Yeah, so I'm liking this spot because as you can tell, the main portion of the camera is kind of blocked off by this little black sensor portion here, but the camera itself is fully exposed and capturing everything, I would hope. Okay, so now we can find the location of our optional rear view camera. Some people may like to just put it next to the other one to capture their back seat. This is especially common for rideshare drivers and stuff like that. It's not really important to us, so we are gonna put it on the back hatch just here. Capture everything going on. Yeah, that'll work. Everything going on behind us. Okay, so for us, we're gonna wanna put it just a hair. We're not gonna put it flush against this. Just a hair away from the headliner so we have some room for the wires. And then obviously leave a little space in between here because you get it out by sliding it right and down. So to mount it, we're just going to get this guy on there, secure it into place. You're going to take the sticker off and then put it right where you need it. And there it sits. We like it. It's in really good optimum position, and you can just slide it over and take it off. Next, we're going to start wiring for power. So I'm just going to plug it in here. Use this handy wire cover. Alright. Get it up to here. So in order to feed this wire down into this paneling and all the way to the fuse box, we're going to have to get in here where the airbag is. But we really don't want to mess with this, so we're going to go ahead and remove the negative terminal on the battery. Battery's disconnected. Just going to first take the weather stripping down here. I can get a good grip on it. Okay. Now I'm just going to feed it through the wiring, that is. So we're just gonna route the rest of this wire down along here, like so, and obviously continuing to put small pieces of duct tape along the way so it holds it in place and does not rattle. Okay, that's what that looks like, all finished. So now we're going to be working down here at the fuse box. There was an access door, but we just took off the whole kick panel because we wanted a little more room to work and get the shot. Okay, so this dash cam's a little unique in the wiring. Here we have the red, which is it's a wire that requires power at all times, even when the ignition's off. And then we have here the yellow wire, which is optional, and this requires power when the ignition is on for some extra features. And then of course the black is ground. Okay, so with the voltmeter, we're going to use this guy to find the fuse that's going to allow power both when the car's off and a fuse when just the ignition's on, so I'm going to do that right now. So to use the voltmeter, you're going to find a ground for the black, and then you're going to touch the tip of the red to one of the exposed areas of the fuse here, just the very top. So I'm going to use this bolt to ground, and then I need to find a fuse that will provide power when the car's off, and this 15 obviously does. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing to find one while the ignition is on. Our ignition is on. I'm going to ground here. One that provides power just when the ignition is on. And I'm going to do the same thing on this 15 guy here. And yes, that does the trick. Just to be safe, I'm going to do the exact same thing while the car is off to make sure that that same fuse shows nothing when I check it. Yep, 0. Now that we know where we need to be, we're going to tap in the fuse box with a fuse tap. So I'm just going to take out that 15 right there. Okay. Okay, new fuse, old fuse. Slide this guy into place on the bottom. Okay. And then all together, we're going to put this guy back in right where we took the other one out. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with that other 15. Now we're going to crimp these two wires together. If you recall, this one is for our constant power, which is the red. I'm going to get this guy going. Okay, so that one's all crimped together now. And of course we're going to do the same thing with the yellow, which remember is for the ignition. Alright, so these two guys are now crimped together, and I'm going to follow that up with the ground, obviously. So we use this guy as the ground, which was working for us, so I'm just going to loosen it up a bit, slip it in the back, and then tighten it back down, and we have our ground. Alright, so that's all wired up. To sanity check, you can obviously use the voltmeter to do exactly what we've done before. Just check these guys and obviously ground with the black, but what we're going to do is just turn the ignition on and turn the dash cam on. Yep, that's on.
Insert a memory card.
I think we should insert a memory card. Alright, we didn't really show you this part because it's pretty straightforward, but it's kind of a final step to clean everything up. You just want to bunch up the wires in a way that won't rattle, and then put it somewhere, again, in a place where it won't rattle. And we kind of just stuck ours in back here, which is going to work for us. And now we're going to move on to the rear camera install. For those of you who want to use the cigarette lighter, obviously you can just plug it in and plug it in. It's kind of the dirty way to do it, but if you could also technically go up and around the headliner like we did, down through here and across here. But if you're going to go to that length, you might as well just hardwire it like we did, but up to you obviously. So for the rear view camera, we have this micro USB cable. I'm going to first obviously take this guy off and plug it in, and it back up. Okay. And then we're gonna take this wire and start just feeding it through where we put the other one in the headliner, through here, and then up along and start working our way toward the back. Now that the wire is all the way through, I'm going to feed it up around here, away from the airbag or out of the way of the airbag, in much the same way that we had gone down with this wire. We're going to secure it in place with duct tape, little small pieces, so it doesn't rattle up till we get to here. So you can probably tell, or not tell, the wire is pretty well hidden up in there. So it's nicely tucked in. And now I'm going to move and put it through this panel here. You gotta remove the paneling, you gotta remove the weather stripping on the back door side, and then you can start feeding it through this panel here. Until you finish feeding it through. And then as we get it through, obviously I'm gonna keep running it along here, just like we did on the other side, and out of the way of the airbags, of course. Okay, so now this wire is all tucked in and out of the way as well, and obviously continued on to feed through this panel here, which was really difficult to film. Obviously you can't really see that, so you can kind of just discern for yourself that this is going through, and it is also in and out of the way of the airbag. So we're going to keep feeding this through. I think it seems obvious that we're going to line it up around here, and then we're going to do the exact same thing through this panel right here. Okay, so we found it easiest for this panel if you just kind of slide it through and tuck it in like that, just in through here. So now we want to feed this wire up through here, into here, and over up in here so we can get it right there. I'm gonna just remove the stripping here, and then take out these little clips, pull it down a bit, and just start finding your space. Alright, so we found that it was better to run the wire up through this guy here because it had a little thicker, has a bit more room. We're going to just feed it up into here. And then we're going to get it through here, around here, and eventually up into here. Now that the wire's through here, we can take this panel off here so we can feed it through where it's going to live. Bunch the wires together here like this. Okay, so that's what that looks like now. It's all secured, and obviously we have this bit hanging out so that we can plug it in. And I'm just going to put the paneling back on. I'm losing my wire. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now we can plug in our rear camera here. Okay, make sure that the Thinkware is facing the windshield, back windshield. And try to aim for the middle, I guess, obviously. Okay, so this is what it looks like from the inside. If you have any weather stripping that's just hanging, any trim, just go ahead and replace it now because we are all finished with that. It's kind of hard to see with the light the way it is, but this is what it looks like when the hatch is closed. Alright, Alright guys, we hope you liked this updated dashcam install video with the Thinkware F770. We're really excited about this product, and it's on the new car, so hopefully it'll keep it a little better protected in the long run. Again, if you want to see that review of this camera, it's going to be right there for you guys when it's ready. And if you're interested in purchasing this product, obviously we have a link down in the description for you. And I think, oh yeah, if you liked this video, please thumb it up. If you are new and want to see more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on alerts. And of course, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below, and we will see you in our next one.